the guy Jesse Williams, the actor that got on BET and made what I would consider a compelling speech, articulate speech, and a poetic speech, but a wrong speech, an incorrect speech, an inaccurate speech, and a hate speech, is that he's the most digressive, progressive person that I ever heard of. And I'm gonna tell you why. Jesse was born in '81. His parents are an interracial couple. His mom is white, his dad is black. I guarantee you that they met and they were together in a relationship during a time where interracial relationships weren't popular. To go against the grain, they decided to be progressive. They decided to not let culture and society box them into the status quo. They said, you know what, we're gonna choose love over racism. But then 30 some odd years later, you have their son just completely unraveling what they've established and them stepping out of the box, him putting them back in the box. There's no reason in the world that you come from a progressive group of people, a progressive family, and for you to turn around at a time and a moment of sharing love and success, you cause division and stupidity. I saw this joker face to face. And this is the problem that I'm seeing with all these Black Lives Matter movement people and all these other jokers that want to stimulate and perpetuate racism, is that they like to make blanket statements about stuff that's totally inaccurate. All right, we'll start with the blatant, open white people mentality. First of all, I like to say this. It is time for us to move on. Move forward. I like to say move forward is a better term. Yeah, there's things in history that have happened, but it's time to move forward. You can't sit in the past all day and be waddling around and being a victim. It's time to be the victor. It's time to move forward. Be specific about the white people and this whiteness that you're referring to. Because I know for a fact, the person who is selfless and who has been spending her life nurturing is your mom, who's a white woman. You need to be better for her. You weren't raised by a black woman. You raised by a white woman who probably busted her tail and did a really good job. So you need to be better for her, not for black women. You're just trying to say something to make everybody feel good because you had an all black awards banquet or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, let's be specific about the white people you're talking about. And I'm gonna tell you who you're not talking about. All right. And this is the problem with most of them. They did this blanket statement, but they won't be specific. Start being specific. I'm going to be specific about who you're not talking about. You're not talking about Abraham Lincoln. Abolishment of slavery. You're not talking about him. You're not talking about the white individuals who sacrificed their lives and their houses to assist Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad. You're not talking about those white people. You're not talking about those who fought in the Civil War for black people. Died for the betterment and incorporation of black people into this society. You're not talking about those people. I tell you what, you're not talking about my football coach, my high school football coach, who took it upon himself to promote his love, blood, sweat, and tears for all of us young brothers who people forgot about. You know, we had 9 D1 athletes, 4 All-Americans on one team. He put his heart into that. You ain't talking about him. Help me be successful. You're not talking about the athletic director that gave me a scholarship and paid for my undergrad degree. I tell you what, you ain't talking about none of my teachers, my white teachers that don't get paid anything, but they still poured out love at a school that I went to that was rough. Not. And I'm going to tell you one thing. And if I saw you to your face, if I saw you and I spoke to you to your face, this is what I'll tell you who you're not talking to. You're not talking about my brothers and sisters wearing that uniform that put their life on the line for me every single day, that will die for me in a minute. You ain't talking about them. I tell you one thing, you ain't talking about them white people. So get your record straight, brother. And while you're going around spewing out lies, and you're really hurting the black community because you're lying to them about Sandra Bland. First of all, cops didn't kill Sandra Bland. She killed herself. First of all, you need to address her character. You know what? We can control things that happen to us based on character. You act like it don't matter what other people do. It's about you. You know what? If you want to fix Your situation, if you want to know how you can be successful, look in the mirror. It's about you. Michael Brown, the young kid Rice that got shot in the park. He wasn't just walking around the park, minding his own business, playing like a kid. You're putting out false information. You're giving people false hope. The kid wasn't just walking around the park. He had a gun in his hand, pointing it at people, running after people. They don't know if it's real or not. They pulled up. I think that they could have handled that situation just a little better. Them shooting him was not unjustified. What would you do, Mr. Williams? You probably never been in a police car before. What do? You act, you make money. You come from a good home. And you're lying to other black people, getting them all riled up, being fake. And you talk about, the issues that black people are facing. So we can do some introspection because we control what our community looks like. We need to stop killing each other. That's what we need to do. We need to talk about recidivism rate. We need to talk about dropout rate. We need to talk about single parent homes. We need to talk about that. We need to face the music. We need to do better for ourselves, and therefore other people respect us a little more. That's what you should be getting up talking about. You don't need to point the finger at the white man. Point the finger at yourself. Point the finger at what you've done. Point the finger at what all those people at the BET Awards have done. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out of here. Last but not least, brother, let me tell you something. Don't get up spewing out that stuff when you're taking and receiving an award from an organization that's owned by a white man. Don't get up and try to play the race card. Don't get up and try to play our black power card. So when you talk about somebody need to sit down, you need to sit down. I'm a black man. I've been through things. I lived in this country, obviously. And I'm telling you to sit down, brother. If I saw you face to face, I'll tell you to your face, sit down. I don't care about your money. You need to sit down, or you need to change your rhetoric. You need to change the way you approach these situations. I'm out.